What up, y'all? It's jay.gov, and welcome to the annual year in review. We skipped the year last year with 2023, but we back even better. And actually, this year I'm accompanied by a few of my, favorite esteemed guests. To my left here, we have Zaydante.
What's up? How's it going? Dang, I don't know what camera it is. Well, shout out to the both of you.
Absolutely. Zay makes music, works in acting, and things of that nature. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, that's it. No.
We all make funny videos on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, to the left, we got JKCRADIO, otherwise known as Jordan.
Yo, what's up? What's
your description, man? What you gonna give him?
Dang.
Elevator pitch.
That's hard. I DJ for the most part. That's like kind of the main thing I got going on. Getting creative direction. I know how to move around the camera and stuff, directing things of that nature. Kind of just like wherever you need me, I'm
Jack of all trades.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Renaissance man.
Over here is my guy Dylan.
What's going on, Jay? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing swell. What's your elevator pitch? Like, it's like, oh, what are you? What do you do?
I do a lot in social media marketing, content creation across like lifestyle, apparel, music, all the good stuff,
Absolutely. I got Dylan, he, headed a little bit of music operations over at a company you may know, Overtime, something of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, I'm really excited, man. This is the first time I've done this in a minute. We stepped it up in terms of, we had technical difficulties, but we're higher production now.
Jay is real. Jay got in the trenches and figured it out,
Absolutely. So, this year was very much an eventful one. So I kind of want to get it started already, just, skip the foreplay. So first thing is, I want to talk about the moment. Oh my God. Straight to it. This year, we had a lot of crazy things. There was a lot of eventful things that happened this year, okay? Obviously, there's a lot of things that we can name. There's a lot of things that we can't. But I want to start it off with moments of the year. I think just to start off, is this everyone's number one? I think we all know what we're thinking about in terms of the moment of music this year. Is that everyone's number one?
Probably. Yeah.
The Drake and Kendrick beef 2024?
Drake and Kendrick beef for me.
I mean, that's what we're going to look back on. And say,
yeah, that's absolutely what we're going to point out.
That's the one for me.
Jordan?
I had to think. Honestly, yeah. But like, I feel like, I don't know. I checked out of it after a minute. I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa, interesting.
Check out in what way?
Like, I think mainly it was just the conversations after that were just like here's my thing. I would contest that. I would just say the big three talks in general. I like that discussion.
Okay.
More,
that's what
which
you
is
like
a result from the Kendrick and Drake beef. But I think that's like the biggest thing for me.
Absolutely. Okay, that's fair. I think like a lot of the discussion that came from it it brought back a certain level of dialogue in hip hop that isn't usually had. I think people don't really talk too critically about different artists and their impact. And I think that brought it back. Like, hey, what is this person actually doing? What is their impact? You know what I mean?
I definitely feel that. Yeah. Cause at one point in time I was like, even I'm tired of talk. Cause I was making a lot of content about it. And I was like, another Drake video. Oh man, I don't know if I want to even do the but it just kept coming up in different ways that kind of felt so unavoidable.
You got your shit off this year.
Yeah. I was a lot of the times I was like, dang, I feel like I'm just being really mean to this person. But the thing is
I'm bullying Drake.
Yes, because I'm like, shit kept happening. Like I really would have preferred, if nothing else happened, I would have never made a video about him again. But then every news story came up, and then and it's still the fact that it's still happening, like him suing and bringing that up. I did not want to make another video about that. Crazy. Like I really didn't. But at that point in time, it's like when you start doing it, when you do it for every single event that he does, it's like if he keeps making events, well then it's like I gotta keep making videos.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
It's just news at that point.
Okay, so everyone's top three, is it the same? What's the order of that era?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or do we have a different top three?
Like of the songs? Or
just in terms of hip hop artists.
Oh, like the big three.
Oh yeah, no, mine's different.
Wait, I'm excited to hear.
Are you asking if it has changed since all of this has transpired?
Yes, that, and also what was it beforehand as well?
Mine didn't change.
Who'd you have on top is my question.
What's your criteria though? Like, is it?
We're doing that.
Like hip hop.
Is it who's
big
the most
three? I would say who would be your more favorable artist, but also the most impactful. You know what I'm saying? Is what your number one is. Kendrick was my number one.
Yeah, I was.
Of that big three?
Of the
big three.
Yeah. Kendrick was number one.
It was before the beef. It was Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole.
Yeah. Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole.
Beef, it was also Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole.
It's the same for me. It's never changed for me.
I was just saying.
No, you go.
I was just thinking like, in general. Because okay, if you know me, you know I've never really been the most loving of J. Cole, right? Like, there's
actually a huge digital footprint of this history.
I'm not the biggest J. Cole fan, so I wouldn't have had him in the top 3 regardless.
Wow, that's so fair.
Who was your 3? Tyler? Was Tyler your 3?
I think it's hard. I say Future just because I feel like Tyler's impact came like after, and I feel like the big 3 was mainly like from when I remember, it was like 2015 and 2017. I'll say 2014.
What do you mean? You're saying that's when it started?
Yeah, I mean not when it started, but like the bulk of like that's when people were really like, okay, it's definitely Kendrick, J. Cole.
I'd say
and
2014
Drake.
was late 2014.
I don't think because I remember like
Pimp a Butterfly, Forest Hills Drive. That's what caused it because that was when did Take Care come
right
out?
after.
2011,
yeah.
So yeah, I don't even know. Views is what brought him. But
And
Drake
the
was
other one,
always.
too.
I think
top
nothing was the
dog.
same. Nothing was the same. Was no, sorry,
14.
sorry. If you're reading this was 2015,
Yeah.
and I think
That's what it was.
that was
Yeah,
when
no, you're right.
that was also
Drake was always like up there in terms of what people talked about because he was so
Yeah.
prominent. You couldn't ignore Drake. You couldn't ignore Drake.
which is saying something like because I listened to Drake at that time too. Like
Yeah.
I think that there is a very special place for that. And that is important. Like I never had him as number 2 in a way of like fuck Drake. I had him as number 2 as if a beef like this happened, Kendrick would win. Like, so I wasn't surprised when it happened because that was always what I was like, that is just the order to me. It's always been that order.
Absolutely. No, that's fair. And like, look, we're gonna have plenty of opportunities to revisit this. What I'll say though is that Kendrick was for sure my number 1, and I think there was always a point to be made, at least for me, that like, Drake's like impact is undeniable, and he's probably one of the most talented and like has the most range of a lot of artists. And then he started suing people, and
that was
since then he's lost all my. I don't rank him anymore. Certain things you do, I'm just like, as a person, I don't want to address you. So if someone else is like, Drake's up there, like I get it. I'm just never gonna like name that guy.
Yeah.
I just feel like this whole beef has like made him lose like any respect he had. Like his aura is just like every move. It's like,
I feel like every time people talk about Drake, it gets dated in 2 months, 2 weeks. It's like there's always a new thing.
So many people, numerous times, because like again, like my digital footprint is like as a full Drake hater.
It's bad.
It's bad. Like I said a lot of negative things about him, and oftentimes throughout like the entire process, people like you're being extra, like he's gonna come back, whatever. And I was like, y'all, it doesn't seem like that's true. Like if you really,
like, this was really like because then like him trying to announce the Australian tour during the pop out
and not dropping no music,
not dropping the music.
I don't know why he tried to act unbothered.
Yeah, he's the XQC, and he always mentions Kendrick. Like it's like embarrassing.
He got like real life issues.
You know what I
Like
mean?
embarrassing.
What do you think, Dylan? You think he's not like us?
I feel like I'm getting cornered into playing devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
I personally just think he's playing a different game.
For sure.
For as impactful and of the music and amazing artists as each of the other 2 guys are. There's levels to it in terms of revenue that you bring in for a bigger entity, and like just as a businessman, like I think you have to take these measures and do these things to protect.
So you think you're on his side, basically?
I'm not on his side, but because I do think it's
No, I understand him.
It is whack.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
but he provides so much revenue and has for this company. Sorry, I'm around my leg for more than a decade.
Yeah, that's a fair perspective.
Turn their back on him and do this shit. Like, it was whacked by both parties, honestly. And I from like a just like man to man perspective and viewpoint, horrible decision.
Absolutely.
It looks bad. It's really cringe that you do that, but like I get it.
Yeah,
to say that you don't understand it, I think is you just like you just hate it. Like,
definitely.
It's just on some shit. It's like if you can I cuss, by the way?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, okay. Like it's like when you lose a fight, right? And then you like snitch after being like, yo, like I lost a fight, like oh he beat you, something like that. Like you sue or whatever, like, okay, it makes sense, get your money. You're taking that other step. But that's how it looks, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
but I mean, like you definitely can do it.
I completely agree, but if you're going to view it from his angle and just step into his shoes for a second.
Yeah.
Like he's said it like he keeps the lights, besides Taylor, he keeps the lights on in that building.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so for them as an entity that has backed him to pour money into something fraudulently or not, to outwardly damage his reputation during a contract negotiation.
He ratted. Yeah.
That's a little sus behavior also by them. So it's like, I get it. I understand it.
Needless to say, this is our winner for a moment of the year. That's what I'm going to say. And what I also say is that what this beef kind of like showed me is like, it revealed that obviously I knew these people were people, but it revealed not only how these people were as people, but just like what each person kind of stood on, right? For instance. And so like, obviously 100%. With the whole Drake situation, in my honest opinion, I can say for both Drake and Cole, if both of them had more favorable reactions from the public, what we saw in terms of their response would be completely different. I legitimately think if whatever J. Cole had dropped on Might Delete Later had gotten a great response from the general public, we would not have gotten an apology. You know what I'm saying? 100%. I feel like J. Cole would have been on Dreamville Festival getting his shit off. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there was no grounds for an apology if he didn't put out that 7-minute or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that seemed like it was added at the last second.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
Like that was a great project as it is, and then it got turned into something that it wasn't.
A whole moment. And same thing for Drake. I feel like if Drake, the last song he dropped was what? Not the Hard Part 6.
No, it was Hard Part 6.
It was the Hard Part 6, right?
It was the Hard Part 6, but then he just dropped that freestyle with
fighting.
Fuck that shit.
That's kind of my thing with Drake is that growing up, like wait, yeah.
We gotta wrap it up. Okay. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to it, I promise. And yeah, just like to wrap it all up, it's just like, you know, these people are all people, and we just saw different aspects of their personalities that broke their character, is what I was trying to say. Like, it's not the person you thought they were.
I just remember he dissed Brian. That was fucked up.
Yeah. Well, okay. So now let's get into the runner-ups. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to get into an order of everything. You know what I'm saying? But like, is there any runner-ups that immediately come to mind in terms of the moment of the year? You know what I'm saying?
Sexy Drill.
The wave. Sexy Drill? That was my number 2.
Yeah.
Sexy Drill. Shout out to Cash Cobain. You know what I'm saying? He brought horniness back to the band. That's my niggas, bro.
No, it's just so fun. That's good music.
It is very fun. I would say like what I appreciate is that he brought in a new sound. It's like its own thing. And also every time a new sound comes, you see innovation in the sense of, oh, let's use this sample. Let's use this sound. Let's use that. And I think a lot of my favorite collabs have been with him and Sad Boy. Just been tight. Like he ties in like bongos and like some Caribbean sounds and Brazilian funk. It's fun. I think.
Was this the album with Grippy on it?
In terms of what, like the Sad Boy shit, or
is this an album?
No, the Sexy Joe is just like the name of the genre.
It's the name of the genre.
But Grippy was a Sexy Joe song.
Because
Play Cash Cobain is the album.
Yeah. Grippy's not on it. That's like its own separate thing.
Yeah, Grippy.
Okay.
Shout out J. Cole again.
Well, because I didn't hate Cash Cobain's part because I thought that the beat for that song was tight.
It's
I
his
thought Cash Cobain's part was tight.
Yeah.
And I like other Cash Cobain songs too. So,
absolutely.
But I was wondering if that was like the best song on that, or one of the better songs.
No,
I think there's a better song. I'm gonna send you a playlist.
Okay.
I got you for sure.
And it's like
this is New York bias.
I was gonna say like if you're East Coast in general, it's like so ingrained in like everything that comes out right now. It's kind of crazy. Like everyone got a Sexy Joe song, bro. Jim Jones, the Not My Problem remix. He made his own version about Harlem.
Yeah.
Like last week or 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Shout out to Layla.
Yeah.
Wow. Nah, that was just that was a great moment. And I'll say like for me, because I heard like Dunk Contest, but I heard another song before. I think it was Jay Holiday too. And like when I heard it, I immediately called up all my friends in Florida, and I'm like, hey, listen, this is next. I'm like, this is coming. Get ready. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, Sexy Drill. And they all repeated it. This was like a movie. They're like, Sexy Drill. Like, it's a question. I'm like, yes, this is the genre. It's coming. Cash Cobain, just pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, just get into it. And that was a great. So what, would you have a different runner-up?
Yeah, for runner-up for a moment of the year for me would definitely be everything that Doechii did after Camp Flog Gnaw. I don't remember if there was another thing, but that run of the Camp Flog Gnaw performance, which I think is one of the best live performances that I have seen ever.
That was great.
And then her Tiny Desk, which is, I think, the best Tiny Desk ever. I mean, if I think the only competition other than that was Mac Miller's. but I'm like, this is an instant classic Tiny Desk. And then what was the
she had a late night show performance that was amazing. Jimmy Fallon.
Yes, that's what it was. The Jimmy Fallon, like those three things in a row. I just remember there was like 2 or 3 solid weeks of Doechii putting out, and then the Denial Is a River music video.
Yeah.
Like everything she's been doing.
Yeah.
And one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Wow, this person is actually, SZA said it like at Camp Flog and all when she came on, was like, this is the future. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And it's in really good hands if it's in hers, because
it's just great,
it's incredible.
It's great that she's having her moment when she's ready for it. She's fully developed. She's an amazing artist. She's done the house shit. She's done the pop shit. She's in the rap shit. She's just amazing. And, you know, as someone from the Tampa area, you know what I'm saying? She be repping heavy. This is the first time in a rap song I heard a motherfucker say 813. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Ooh, that shit was fire. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her repping the home team. That was great. You got nothing to say about Doechii?
No, I fuck with Doechii.
She's cool. Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, she's good. I saw her at Flog now. That was a.
Got you.
I want to say, like, the Fallon show. I just really liked. She had like a Gucci sweater. Like,
that shit was tough.
That was like a Floridian ass private school fit. That was fire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Actually, like her whole style in general is like dumb tough. Like just like the whole like colorful, like formal, but like also streetwear kind of thing is going on.
Absolutely. And just like, you know, I would say another thing that I liked was just like the resurgence of like Boiler Room and DJ culture. You know, obviously a lot of people may hate it because everyone's a DJ now. This looks like a selection set. I get it. But I will say it was just fun to see that because I think in turn, granted, I moved to New York when I was already in my 20s. I was going to be outside anyway, but I feel like it just brought back a certain culture of going outside and like partying and having fun and clubbing. And I think that was great to see, along with obviously all the other shit that came from that, like the Zach Fox tour he did, or like Charlie's Brat, or like, you know what I'm saying? That was a great era. So yeah, for sure. So, you know, moving on, I think we already touched on it.
What's up?
I can say.
Oh, Dylan?
For like a moment, I wouldn't say it's a moment, but it's like a thing that I feel like came back into the forefront for hip hop and rap specifically, was like real solid traditional album rollouts.
Yes,
And the way the general public was annoyed by it, like they hate. Why do I keep seeing this person? That's marketing.
Yeah, exactly. That's marketing.
It's not like a disappearing thing.
Like not like, I feel like this year, as opposed to the past 6-7 years when like streaming was like, all right, like something drops this week, we'll forget about it the next. Like this year, like people were promoting their albums
amazing,
like, well after it came out.
Yes.
And shouldn't give up on your work.
Absolutely.
And not to dick ride, but you know, there's like the coinciding with that and like all of TDE dropping. I'm just saying, there's, you know,
shout out to Schoolboy Q.
It's great. Shout out to Schoolboy Q.
Oh man, Schoolboy Q's album was incredible.
Coming soon. We're gonna talk a little bit more on that for sure. So yeah, and we already touched on it earlier. I think the next category we had was Breakout Artist of the Year. So we all mentioned Doechii. Doechii's touch and what she did with the culture was just amazing. She really did take the media by storm. And again, traditional album rollout, that's what happened. She's everywhere. People got mad. That's what happens when the label cares about their artist and push them forward.
And believes in an artist as well.
So yeah, that's my Breakout Artist of the Year. That's my winner. I'm just going to say that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mine as well, yeah.
Okay.
I got Doechii as well. I mean, she's
I already know what Jordan's going to say.
She's the one.
I'm going to say Okuso.
Oh, I wasn't. I didn't know. Educate us.
Yeah,
Okuso, he's I think he's from DC. You know, like 10K projects like Mike, Sideshow.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, he's part of that group. But
That's
his music, like DMV sound, very cool. I really like his album. It's like Mercy, Non Mercy, or something like that.
Got you.
But it's dumb tough. And he's a nice person. I met him before.
cool.
Shout out to bro. Yeah, no, the DMV always has a lot of artists with a lot of range. They play with sounds. I think it's just the culture over there. It's very diverse. So it's fire. I would say my runner-up would probably be Cash Cobain. You know, again, creating a sound as a producer and an artist. I would say that would be my runner-up. He created his own wave, and that is something that's very hard to do in the internet age. There's so many people just reinventing what's already been done. No disrespect to Glorilla. I think she had an amazing moment too. We should have mentioned that. She had a great moment. A lot of her songs were flips though. You know what I'm saying? And so is Cash Cobain's. So maybe I should shut the fuck up. But he had his own way of doing it, and I respect that. Is all I'm saying. Yeah.
Glorilla, I think, would have been my runner-up because that album, I thought her album was really incredible and like one of the best like hip hop albums of the year. And like I definitely got this album. I was listening to it and I was like, it makes me very excited for the next one, which I hate to do as like an audience member, to be like, I'm this album, now I want you to drop another one, because it took so much work to be able to put that in there. Absolutely. But I think the reason why I said that, like why I say that, is because there's so much stuff that I think she's going to be able, I think there's going to be a lot more eyes on her now that will allow her to do so much cooler stuff. Yeah. And I think all of the potential that she has is so on display with that album in a way that I feel like she killed I thought her Sticky feature was incredible, which I feel like came from her having that song with Sexy Red on her album, which I thought it's one of the best, like,
she's a star. She has
Glorilla's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Right, I'm excited to see. She brought out T-Pain at one music festival, by the way.
Whoa, I didn't even see that. That's hard.
That's crazy.
That was just hard as fuck. I really love T-Pain. Florida bias again. I love T-Pain. He's amazing.
T-Pain is amazing.
I'll also say for Breakout, just want to show love to producers also.
Yeah.
Kind of straddles the line, of underground and mainstream, or at least he's breaking through to the mainstream. Is Conductor had like
still going crazy.
Yeah, still going
2025.
crazy.
Still going crazy.
Yeah.
What he's been able to do with that whole Griselda drumless sample sound type shit.
It's been amazing.
Create like a whole niche genre on TikTok. I feel like West Side Gun Talk is like a thing.
Yeah.
And then just bring that into the mainstream with Cole and Drake and Joey, and
also sonically the Drake song was good. Sonically, like if we're not looking, like you take away whatever, like and feel in a way about what was happening or whatever, that beat was hard.
Great
and
producer.
I really appreciated like his flow on that song. Like I thought it was one of the better songs that he's dropped like in the past year.
Also, people, let's not get back into it. We'll get it.
No, totally.
But it's just like everyone's talking about, every Drake bar in that song ends with shun. That's like so many English words. This is as a Latino, as a Mexican Latino, if you go to Latin America, right? You know how like when Americans make fun of Latinos, they add an O to the end of it? They'll add a shun to a word. So like if they're talking about like fish, they'll be like pescado Asian. You know what I'm saying? And Asian. We have so many words that end like that. That's... it's a scheme. It makes sense, but yeah.
That rhyme scheme's been done forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just because it's
y'all don't know how hip hop works.
Bro.
That's really what it is.
It is. I will say I do be laughing at that though, because the thing is, not every rapper does that. Like that is maybe true, but every rapper don't do that though.
Hating on Jay when he ended every bar with money and
or paid homage, or ever paid homage to anyone he loved.
Yeah.
It's like, you're stealing his bars. It's like, as if Jay-Z isn't the most quoted rapper ever. As if everyone is a quote. That's the most.
Bruh, but
He's
that's
like,
the thing is,
he's like one of the most quoted artists like of all time.
He literally is. He's the most sampled.
When people don't like
all
you,
genres,
though, all that type of shit that people kind of like look over or whatever, like stuff like that becomes something that they like, ends up getting attacked, even if it's valid or not.
And one could say that's from the beef he had. This is something that's going to follow an artist once you make a certain fan base a little bit more flared, a little bit more irritated. They're just always going to poke at you.
Exactly.
Which is fine. He's a fucking billionaire. So moving on. Also, Sabrina Carpenter was like another person. But whatever.
Nah. Okay, I got mine. I got a lot though.
You got a follow up?
Yeah, I got a few. Always gonna show love to my friends, right? So Layla, Gap Year.
Oh, shout out to Layla.
One of my favorite albums this year.
Crazy.
You talk about a sound? She has her own sound, absolutely.
So good.
My homie Liam, he dropped like an EP, just like of some of the songs he dropped this year, and like around Christmas, Tyler posted one of so that was cool. So those two for sure, but then also like I don't know, I don't know if this counts as a breakout. Cause like let the internet tell you everyone's been listening to Saw Baby since 2015, but
I would definitely say that's a breakout.
Saheem, bro, that's it's really good. I really like that album.
That's Michigan shit, right?
He's hard.
You repping the state. I respect that.
No, Saheem, he's from Atlanta, I think.
He's from Atlanta? I'm tripping. I mix him up with Sada Baby.
Yeah, Sada Baby, yeah. And Sada Baby is Michigan.
And then there's another, who's the other guy? Other Baby. He's the guy that makes makes music catering to women, like it's like on purpose. It's like you look good, baby. Skilla Baby. Yeah. I makes all the Sadas, the Skillas, and the It's fine. But nah, it's fun.
Those for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like with all those artists, once again, I think a trend that we see as we progress, more of the artists that we praised are typically the ones that are more dynamic. They're usually the ones that have more than one thing. You know, we love traditional MCs. That's always going to be something rewarded. It's the genre. But at the end of the day, I think one thing we always recognize is when someone does more. And I think as the genre moves forward, we're going to constantly praise that along with your other talents, which is great. And
100%.
yeah, speaking of which, you know, melodies, I think a big part of what we're mentioning is like people's ability to sing. So we're going to take that kind of, in a way, terrible transition, but melodic album of the year. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I thought it was cool. And I think there was a lot of confusion. Not a lot of confusion. It was like, we had a few questions when we got here. What I meant by melodic is anything not hip hop, anything not rap. And obviously melodic hip hop can be included, but there's a difference between that. You know what I'm saying? I know my bass and I know what I love. And so I didn't want to have too many shits breaking it down. And then like you're swiping on IG on the winners and you're like, damn, there's like 20 slides. You know what I'm saying? So melodic album of the year. Does anyone want to start off with that?
You go?
Yeah, okay. Damn.
He freestyling.
No, I know.
I know. First and he gonna freestyle.
Because I was gonna say Gap Year,
Okay.
but then I also really like the Claro album was really good.
Dog,
So,
the
like,
Claro
like,
album
I'm kinda
is
like-
so good.
Amazing.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
say
God.
I'm literally gonna say Gap Year, just because I think I listened to it a lot more.
Okay.
And it's like I think Layla's production on that album, like she's an amazing singer, but like her production on that album is so insane. Like
It's
she's
great.
like one of the best producers I know. I'd probably say Gap Year for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, the Claro album is gonna be a classic. The
Yeah.
Claro, like I was listening to it, I'm like, wow,
Is that
oh
your-
my
Sick.
god,
It was great. Juno, when I first heard Juno, because that's how I discovered it, I
Yes.
was like, oh.
Yeah, she's no joke.
I've never heard
She's no
Claro
joke.
like that, at least for me, like on that instrumentation. That was
Yeah.
crazy to me.
I think it's so funny also that like so many hip hop heads and people that love rap music are
Love
like so
Claro.
into that album.
absolutely.
I'll tell you right now.
Like,
Sample heaven.
yes, it's so
No,
sample heavy.
It's like there's this subset of like white people that you can tell grew up on black music. And it's
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
They make like a soulful pop. And it's
Yeah.
just like, damn. Like it'd be
Like, they
like the
understand
scene.
melody.
Like-
no, yeah, but like nah, it's like different. Like they're not making the same pop as Katy Perry.
No,
That's-
for sure.
that's
It's because they didn't grow up on just pop music.
That's what
they
I'm
grew
saying,
up on
yeah.
like R&B, but also like white R&B too, though. Like getting their little yacht rock bag,
yeah.
getting your yacht rock bag a little bit. I love.
Bruh, no, the
like
Claro
Steely
album
Dan.
for real sounds like waking up on Sunday and being like, all right, we cleaning the house today type shit. Like your
Yeah.
parents walking in, like we
Like-
cleaning the house today type shit. And you have that album on all day. Like it really
So
did
who's
feel
your
like that.
winner?
No, I said
Layla?
Gap Year. I
Oh,
was
okay.
I was talking about like the soulful white people. I was trying to think off the top of my head. Bro, like
Yeah.
like McGee do that.
McGee does that.
McGee
really
does
well.
that.
Young, actually-
Okay, you're spoiling. All right, who's your winner?
For me, for melodic album of the year is going to be "This Is How Tomorrow Moves" by Biba Doobie.
Okay.
That album is
yeah,
an alternative
it's a really good
album,
album.
and it's so incredible. The song "Beaches" is one of my favorite songs of last year, and I feel like she made this album with Rick Rubin, and it's kind of departing from her last album "Beatopia" was made like she was doing a lot of stuff like over in Britain and whatever. She comes from like Dirty Hit, which is like the 1975 Matty Healy George Daniel production, which is like Charlie XCX, which is also an amazing sound. But this time I think she recorded majority of this in Los Angeles with Rick Rubin, and I think it really brought out a completely different side of her, bringing back her strengths of like getting back to making like rock music, and at the same time being able to blend that Brit pop sound as well. I think was spectacular. It's definitely my favorite non-rap album of the year.
That's an amazing summary for sure.
Fire. You have to put me onto that because I don't know.
Yeah,
So good,
totally,
yeah,
Very
absolutely.
uneducated.
I only know
Yeah.
people do it because I watched Love Island and they mentioned it.
That's so
y'all not hip, bro. She
yeah, Biba Doobie's crazy. I mean,
Get it?
she's-
You're so cool. You got a knit hat.
Yeah.
She's really good.
She
bro.
really is. Like,
I know.
I'm talking like next year, by like
She has
next
a-
year,
she has
whatever.
a song with Pink Panthers is super good.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
mhm. So good.
Yeah,
So
bro, she's
cool.
bro, she's so tough.
I got two. Number one is Francis by Esta.
Okay.
He's like a selection producer,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the amalgamation of artists and songwriters he got to produce this.
That's a compilation album, right? Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got like Aaron Ray, Leon Thomas, Matt Keane, Joyce Rice.
The Joyce Rice track is fire. Yeah.
So many.
What was it called?
It's called Francis. by
we need to make a collaborative playlist at the end of
Yeah.
this.
Oh, for sure.
I'm trying to,
Playlist coming out at the end of this. Yeah, we're gonna do it.
So fire. Esta's the homie also. So much love.
That's fire.
Also, Leon Thomas Mud.
I have not listened to Mud in full, and I need to because I've only listened to halfway through, and it's fucking incredible.
Take your time.
It's incredible.
Leon Thomas is so amazing. I was so mad I missed him at the One Music Fest. He's a great artist.
Leon
I'm
Thomas
glad to see him get his flowers. And again,
he's super tough.
We talk about proper album rollouts. That's that, and also a person getting their shine and they're ready for it.
Absolutely.
That's one of the
Leon Thomas has written so many like hits. You know what I'm saying? Like throughout the years.
He
So it's
deserves
crazy.
all the flowers he's getting right now. He's done a lot of behind the scenes work for Drake and SZA, all these other people, whatever. But now, getting his shine, and deservedly so.
This has been one of the best years for music, for sure.
I agree. I agree.
I should have introed with that. Anyways, I would say my winner is Bird's Eye by Raven Lenae.
Great album.
That album, when you talk about timeless, that album could have dropped in 2005. It could have dropped this year instead of last year. It could have dropped 10 years from now. It all makes sense. This is legitimately a timeless song. And I think that's what happens when you take whatever your source material is of inspiration and just make it personal to you. I can tell that she just had random, like, let's just do like a Lovers Rock song for no reason. Like, let's just, you know what I'm saying, make it sound like more like garage. She just had her own fun with it. And again, a fully developed artist. She's been on since like, I don't even know, 18, like 4-Leaf Clover. How old was she then? She's great. You know what I'm saying? I love Raven. This album just speaks to me in a way I can't describe. You know,
that's gonna be my runner-up, I gotta say.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's your runner-up?
I literally forgot about that album. I probably would have said that low-key. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God.
That's also the fucking problem right now, though.
That's what I'm saying.
So much shit drops.
This is a good problem to have. People are still gonna comment, yo, this was snubbed. Right,
It's gonna happen. Well, wait. We're talking about runner-ups too. I won't talk about it too long, but Billie Eilish's album was also fucking incredible. Hard and Soft was so good.
Great.
And Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet, I thought was such an incredible, this was an amazing.
I got a couple to get off real fast too. No Worries. That was
I
great.
need to listen to that one.
No Worries. You didn't like it?
That was no. I didn't know if that was melodic. Because that was like pretty rappy.
It was rappy for facts. But I mean,
a
little bit. I think it still counts.
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask the same question about Lana, because SZA's deluxe album as well. I was like, well,
2024?
That's 2024. Yeah, she dropped that in December. Yeah, she dropped in December. But she is rapping on some of the songs.
Yeah,
but it is melodic.
I think the artist plays into it.
I guess it is hip hop. Sorry.
I feel like it's melodic hip hop, but I think like, at least for a lot of the songs, it's like if Anderson is rapping, he's singing too. So I think that's why what made me classify it. Also, is gonna be Bryson Tiller, his album. Wow. I enjoyed it. That album was so great. I was outside, so I also want to preface this when this came out.
I really liked it off first listen, but for some reason, I just never really went back to it.
It's a party-centric song, a party-centric album. I think like a lot of music, at least for me, like that, when it's music that you're listening to and it's like very hi-fi and stuff like that, it's like hi-fi, not hi-fi. It's just like, this is a lot. I don't know if I want to revisit it. I don't know if I'm going to revisit Brat personally, but I know
I feel that exact same way about Brat.
But it's tight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I loved Brat, and when I listened to Brat, I was like, "Wow, this is so incredible." I am not outside like this though. I will never.
You're not bumping lines in LA.
I'm not bumping lines in LA, so I'm like, this is gonna go so crazy for those who are doing that. I am not that person, but you can really just tell from the quality, even if you don't revisit it or whatever. Like, I'm like, this is such an, and also her marketing for Brat, I thought was amazing. Like the Brat Summer was great. I'm like, that's so, she's so talented, and you can really tell how much work she put into that prior.
Also, even though I gave two, my runner-up would be Timeless by Kaytranada. Also,
man, that was a great album. That was a great album.
That one was I don't know, man.
I think that is the perfect title for that album.
Yeah,
it is literally timeless music. You can play that 40 years from now or 40 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know we're out of the moment section, but like that just reminded me, like that Donald Glover track is great, but also like Donald Glover just like, I hope he's good. I heard he was sick, but like I feel like he would have been all over the place if it wasn't for him canceling the tour and him getting sick and stuff like that. I feel like this was going to be his year, and it's a moment
Stone was a great album.
Bando Stone. I was waiting for the movie. Like I feel like there's a lot of stuff in his moment that kind of fizzled out really fast. But seeing him at Camp Flog Gnaw with Tyler the Creator, is that Camp Flog Gnaw?
It was a different. It was a different
one. Yeah,
was it
the one in Austin?
Lollapalooza?
No, it's Coachella. I think
Coachella. Him and Tyler at Coachella, and he sang what's the name of that song, bro?
Ran Out of Time.
Running Out of Time. I
him on
damn
his
near
album as
cried.
well.
It's on his album, yeah.
damn near
Like him
cried.
at his vocals on "I Killed You" and on "Judge Judy."
Yeah, he's
I
all
think
over
were
the
both
album.
were really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Bando Stone was such a great album, but I feel the same way because I feel like people were expecting like a movie to come. I was expecting the movie to come out,
Yeah.
and then the movie didn't come out.
So the
and
moment-
yeah, but I mean, if you listen to the album though, I mean, I think personally like he figured out every single thing that he wanted to do.
Yes.
Like has ever done. It felt like because remember because the internet had that screenplay.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was like such an inspiring screenplay when I was younger, and that album was so inspiring to me. And it felt like Bando Stone he figured out every single thing that he wanted to do with Because the Internet and actually made a movie soundtrack album, which was really, really cool.
And
But-
No Excuses off of that album is amazing.
Oh,
That's
man, a great
heaven. But yeah, and moving on, from this, I think we need to get into a little bit more of the meat and potatoes of this, which is the hip hop album of the year. We mentioned this being one of the best years in music that we've had so far, and a large contribution to that is the hip hop category. Regardless of what the Grammys want to say, but we can either. I don't know how you guys want to do this. We can preface this with a topic. We can go one by one. We can talk about one and then go. But I think, needless to say, a lot of the great hip hop albums that came out were from the West Coast this year.
Yeah, the West had a crazy year.
And so I don't know where you guys want to rank it, but
I wonder how many are similar.
let's just go.
Yeah.
All right, let's go, Dylan. Hip hop album of the year, number one.
Doechii.
Doechii.
Amazing album, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing album.
Love
Like,
that.
so good. So well done.
I will say though, real quick though, just based on sheer replay value for me, I'm like boring and old school when it comes to this, but like the fucking Common and P.Rock album was.
Whoa, that's so awesome. I haven't listened to that.
Oh my
Haven't
God,
listened to it
is
either.
like very seldom do you get an instance where hip hop ages gracefully.
Yeah.
And this was the perfect
Yeah.
example.
That's
of
so
that.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Like it didn't sound like this should have came out in 1990. Like this was like tasteful 2024 boom bap sample.
That's
shit,
awesome.
And Common was rapping. So
And even though I didn't listen to the album, great press run that they had. I was watching all the
they did it
interviews.
too. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Album rollouts were back. They were on
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon. They
They
did
cared.
that shit also. Yeah.
Love that.
But Doechii, yes.
Yeah.
Doechii's great. Yeah, amazing album.
I might contest you on that West Coast thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa, let's cook.
We'll save that.
Let me go later. Album of the year. It's hard. I want to say either Conglomerate or
That's Alansi
or
Fo and his
Saheem
people.
or Chromacopia. One of those three.
Saheem?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of those three.
Chromacopia. So okay, you don't have one.
I can't pick one right now.
Well, we'll take your time. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
It is definitely Chromacopia for me.
Chromacopia was
Chromacopia.
great. Chromacopia was great. I think Chromacopia was a really I think it's his darkest album. Obviously, I think for me it's like you take like Igor in the sense of like what he does with the soundscape of it, and then you take like the rapping ability on like Call Me If You Get Lost, and then like just the spirit of Cherry Bomb where it's like all over the place, and like that's the album. It's his most personal. I loved actually hearing about Tyler's actual life and
Me
not
too.
like
Yeah. Me
a
too.
fictional character with like a weird name. You know, that was great.
That
He's so honest,
His,
such as honest.
His like intimacy almost with himself on that album. Like I thought some of Tyler's best songs he's ever made were.
I agree.
Judge Judy.
That's so interesting
Judge
that
Judy
you
is-
that you
People
think it's
hate
his
on Judge
darkest
Judy?
album.
I think so.
Wow, that's interesting. I feel like
Well, okay. Let me preface. I haven't listened to like the old mixtapes, like the old mixtapes.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
old. I mean,
it's his darkest since that era, though. Since Flower
Yeah.
Boy, it's kind of been all positive for the most part.
Wow.
Well, not Igor, but
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like Igor
think
was
it's darker than Igor.
Wow, I feel like Igor was darker because this album felt like he has been successful for a while and he's been doing it for a while and finally felt like he was able to be honest with himself about
Yeah.
a lot of fears and stuff that he has. Igor, I feel like he was still kind of wrapped up in himself a little bit and scared and didn't really know what to do like with a lot of feelings. And this album, it felt like he had the ability. I was expecting it to be darker due to the aesthetic and due to like to do to Noid and that video,
the
Thought I Was
promo,
Dead
yeah.
video. And I was like, even the album color, I was like, cover, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be dark. But then I listened to it and then I listened to a song like Darling I or whatever. And I was like, if you look at the album cover, I thought like him putting on this mask and doing this
I
thing
see
was
what
like
you're saying.
scary, like a monster, but it felt like he was crooning almost, like he was singing.
What I will say, that's based on
lyrics were definitely.
I would say
like
subject matter for sure. He talked about losing a baby. He talked about how his mother guided him and misguided him. How his mother lied about his father. He talks about even just like dealing with like insecurities about his hair and just the black community and stuff like that. He deals with a lot of things that I feel like this is Tyler just quote unquote getting like the most political ever, you know what I'm saying? And just being honest about certain things. And like, I just even like Take Your Mask Off. He talks about 2 instances in which people are like lying about who they are. Typically in a Tyler song, I don't think he usually wraps it up with, okay, let's point it back on myself, but he did. I think this is his most introspective in the sense of let's turn the light on me. But it was like more so of a criticism of himself and not just here is what I am and I'm unapologetic about it. And I think that's Igor for the most part, you know? So yeah, I would say my winner. It's tight, bro. It's tight because, like, bro, up until this point, I wanted to say Blue Lips. I think Blue Lips, but I think me being so hype on Blue Lips is like almost in retaliation to how that kind of just faded out from what people were talking about. Like, nobody talks about Blue Lips. You know what I'm saying? Blue Lips is legitimately top 3 album of this year. You know what I'm saying? But my winner is probably GNX. GNX is the album where I listen to Blue Lips still to this day. I would say it's the most replayable album, so it's either that or GNX for me. But still, GNX is like, when I listened to it, I was like so excited to hear it. When I played it, I wanted to keep playing it. And Kendrick is amazing at making music for at the house, outside, whatever you want to claim it. He just makes amazing music. And I think this was him just making music, you know? And
what's your favorite song off the album? You had to pick one.
Okay. See, now I got to think. I think Heart Part 6 is amazing. And I think Dodger Blue is amazing. Those are probably my top 2.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I like Man at the Garden.
Man at the Garden, that grew.
Yes.
That grew on me, man.
Yeah, Man at the Garden. Luther was up there.
Jordan's hating. We're not. Jordan had a lot of hate about this album. I don't know.
You didn't like GNX?
Jordan, you know I'm on your close friends, right? Not to out, bro. Like, but day one, he's talking about Kendrick Wash. You saw that, right, Suf? You saw that, right? Put the camera on Suf, Ace, real quick. Put the camera on Suf.
The last thing I said about it, right?
No. He's right.
Bro, Ace. He was the one hating the most.
I don't change nothing.
Bro, I have proof that I like some of the songs, though.
Just because he group leader don't change what happened.
No. Yeah, I was saying there's good parts to it. When I first listened to it.
Okay, just give us your honest opinion on it.
When I first listened to it, right? I only like 2 songs, like love 2 songs, and then there's like some songs that were cool. I don't think there was I don't like Man at the Garden. I still don't like it to this day. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. But
that's interesting.
It
doesn't uplift you. It doesn't make you feel like
bro, the only
he doesn't think he deserves it all. I
was like, damn, you deserve it all.
It's not all me.
The only thing I like about that is like the video of Bron at his 40th birthday.
Yeah. You would say that shit.
That's so funny, bro.
Oh my God.
It's just at a party.
At a party, when you billionaire Bron, you can play whatever the fuck.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, if anybody else did this would kind of be whack.
I can't DJ that at a party. Like nobody's gonna.
But he's Bron though. But he's Bron.
So you GNX, you didn't really like it. There was
like after the last time I listened to it, there were more songs where I was like, okay, like if you. When I first listened to the album, if you asked me like, are there more like good songs? Because For All the Dogs, I think it's just bloated. It has a lot of good songs, but it's just bloated. Are there more good songs on For All the Dogs?
I could not stand For All the Dogs. I hated that album.
No, if you asked me if there were more good songs on For All the Dogs than GNX, I would say yes. To this day,
nigga, it's more songs.
No, but I mean like really good. Like, you know what I mean?
I disagree.
Like, but like now it's like about even. Whereas I still don't like a lot of the songs.
I hated. Damn, I don't want to keep.
I love so many songs off of GNX. I love Peekaboo. All of the beat. Peekaboo's crazy. What's the song where he's like J-Cat? Like that song is crazy.
I was saying like the features on it though.
It's Hey Now. I like my Mac touching yams. Yes. One of the top bars of the year, nigga. Yes. That's fucking hip hop. Put the cam on me, Ace. That's hip hop, nigga. You don't know nothing about
How's your
that.
hand?
You don't know nothing about that. What are you talking about?
Bing, boom, boom,
There's
boom,
so many
boom,
quotables
bam.
from this year, and that's a whole different discussion. But like, there's so many quotables. Tyler the Creator had quotables, man. Like he was getting freaky on Judge Judy, man.
On Judge Judy,
he
yeah,
said, "I can tell her daddy black peanut butter jelly on her lap." That's art to me. That's a haiku. That's poetry. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's always beautiful.
So West Coast music. Do you want to get into that discussion, or do you still want to hate on GNX?
Bro, I didn't hate.
I'm playing with you.
I'm just saying, it's like I think it's like his worst, but
We are.
Wow, you think it?
I mean,
wow. That's so
post like
interesting.
post like
We're clipping the fuck out of this. Go ahead.
post
Good
Kid, Man City.
Bro,
Yeah.
any like that's you can say that about any album because of how good Kid is though. That's why.
But I'm saying like Good Kid, Man City.
I would definitely put
I'll
it at 4. I would
To
definitely
Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the
I like
only
it.
one.
Can
Yeah,
be
I put it
honest?
as 4.
The
Can I
only
be
one
honest?
that
I
might
like
be
this-
better is Damn.
I like this more than Damn.
Oh, I can't say that.
I'm not gonna lie. No, I don't love Damn though. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow,
Here's my-
Damn.
I feel
I don't
like
love Damn.
Damn is like he tried to take the subject matter and like what he likes to talk about in terms of like cultural issues and then make like a pop sounding album. And
Yeah.
he's like, let
I
me
will
make
say
the
though-
biggest thing possible. Like it's like you almost try to take a blockbuster and like Malcolm X the movie and you're like, let's just get this shit the fuck out. But for me, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
For me, I don't like it. Like I think it's not as focused as To Pimp a Butterfly. And so I've listened to it a lot of times. There's so many songs I love. I love Duckworth. I love a lot of the songs, but it just, for me, it doesn't necessarily feel like it is a clear vision. It's about America. It's just not as passionate to me.
I'll say though.
I can see that.
You know?
For me, I would say like Miss Brown and the Big Steppers. Also, that was album when it first came out. I wasn't big on it, but it actually grew on me like heavy.
Oh my
compared
gosh.
to the rest of them.
Which album?
Miss Brown and the Big Steppers.
That grew on me too,
wow.
though.
Yeah,
that grew on
like
me
it
too.
grew like so. That's like
That's the worst
So like
of the new era.
See, I understand that. Like no,
I thought Mr. Morale was the worst of the new era.
no, I would.
And I liked it. I liked
Yeah,
it.
no, I would have said the same thing
Father
when it
Time
came
is
out.
amazing.
Father Time's amazing. Rich Spirit
There's
is
a
amazing.
lot of
There's
really
some great.
good-
Purple Hearts, I think, is one of his best songs.
What's the
but
song? And I'm tripping.
Die Hard, I like that
and
one too.
falling. Count Me Out. I've cried.
Count Me
hate
Out,
that song.
Mr.
I
Moore.
hate
I've
that
cried so
song.
many times to that song.
It's a good
Because like
song,
I love when
yeah.
you count me out. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
real.
it's
When
a
you
good
down
song.
bad and you play that song, you're like,
sorry.
I'm gonna rise
West
above.
Coast. I'll say there are a lot of really good music coming out the West Coast, but when you talk about like regional sounds, I think that was like a big discussion this year, and I think a lot of people put like Kendrick and winning that beef being like the forefront of like bringing regional sounds back. I would say before that, like I think New York was doing that, like like to a bigger extent than Kendrick at one point. I think
What?
this year Atlanta had like
With
a really
Cash
good
Cobain
sound.
is what you mean? New York?
No,
doing
I mean, yeah, for Cash Cobain, but like
New
just
York-
like the Jersey sound in general, like
that's not New York.
that area. You know what I mean? East
No,
Coast. East Coast. That's what I
Okay,
mean.
well, you gotta go state by state. This is
Yeah, but I'm saying,
important.
but like the regional sound, like the East Coast there's a lot of regional artists. I think DMV has a lot of regional
So are you
artists.
saying people were discrediting other states by saying
Not
West
discrediting
Coast?
it, but I'm saying, no, I was literally just saying like,
There were other people doing it. I agree. I
Yeah,
think
no, but I'm saying-
that's a good thing.
yeah, no, but I'm saying like people were like, oh, like Kendrick is bringing regional sounds back. I don't think that.
That's impossible.
what I'm
One
saying,
person can't do that. One
Yeah,
person-
yeah, yeah.
one
But I
per-
mean, like the West Coast.
The simple thing is he brings it to the spotlight, which is partially true. Not a lot of people knew who, like, I don't even know how to say his name to this day.
For West Coast
AZ
rappers,
Chike,
yeah.
AZ
Yeah.
Chike,
Yeah.
AZ Chike, you know what I'm saying? One of them pronunciations. I fuck with him, but I didn't know who he was till I heard Blue Lips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, who the fuck is this
That
guy?
was why I thought GNX was really important for music, in the fact that I think that he did put on a lot of like West Coast people who otherwise a lot of people would not have heard. Because
Absolutely.
even Blue Lips, I think, was an incredible album, but simply did not have the same type of reach that GNX would have had. But that's like kind of, and that was kind of
yeah,
like
but
the
also-
thing with the beef too.
Blue
Yeah,
Lips is my
that's
number
not-
2. That
yeah.
album is amazing, and Schoolboy
incredible
Q
album.
is so good.
He's
and
so
it's like
good.
I feel
Yeah,
like
no.
people sleep on Schoolboy so much.
Definitely, but I also do feel like there's a level of Schoolboy Q does not want to be at the same type of main size as
True.
like a Kendrick does, because he wants to keep his audience. I don't think
he's
that-
also a father, and so is Kendrick.
he
But like,
golfs all the time. Like, he be
Yeah.
talking about that. I just don't think he's interested in that, which I think
That's
Vince
fair.
Staples is the exact same way. And I don't
Oh,
necessarily
Vince Staples'
equate
album was good
size
too.
to
Oh,
success. You know,
Vince
what I mean?
Staples'
hard.
Vince Staples'
That's
album
a-
was in my
yeah.
top 3,
Yeah, I
but then
love
like
Vince Staples.
everyone started going crazy in the last quarter.
did.
I was
No,
like,
I'm not
oh,
gonna
nah,
lie.
I can't.
No, Vince Staples album is really
Children's
good.
Story is
Vince Staples
amazing.
in general has been like on a crazy
Vince
run.
Staples
Shout
is
out,
crazy,
he's been
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
had one of the greatest runs. Like I would say,
Since his self-titled joint.
Yes,
I would
yes.
say he's-
So even before that, because I like
That-
FM a lot,
that-
but I think that was just more.
I think his self-titled was like the same moment of his career as when like Tyler hit Flower Boy.
Absolutely.
Exactly. He figured out everything he was trying to do.
Even
I would
on
say
features like
before that,
California
though.
Dream with Ab Soul this year was amazing. And shameless plug on J.Radio, a project I'm dropping later this year. I talked about how I would say Vince Staples is one of the up to 2025. He's one of the decade defining artists we've had in hip hop. So
No, I would say before that. I think he figured it out.
FM.
Before, what was the one before FM?
The Big Fish theory.
Big Fish. I think that was a.
Wow,
It's great.
I feel like
It's
Big
great.
Fish
I think
was his
okay.
experimental album.
very
That's fair.
experimental.
Okay, I was gonna
Like,
say if
yeah.
you're gonna say that like Vince Staples was his Flower Boy, I would say that would be his Cherry Bomb then. I guess.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I would.
But
I
also-
think Big
I
Fish
also
was his
love Cherry Bomb, so that's
me too.
why.
Me too. Yeah. I think like the experimental stuff is great, but I think you got to get one of those. Like you got to do that, and then because people say the same thing about Big Fish theory that they probably say about Cherry Bomb too,
Facts.
which was like oh, this isn't as digestible or whatever. I'm like well, if you expand your taste, I think like that's like that'd be
Absolutely.
a very interesting thing. But some people don't listen to music like that.
Yeah.
Like they
Facts, yeah.
just don't have that type of, which is fine. Like you know what I mean. Like it doesn't. People can be casual listeners of music, but I definitely feel like Vince Staples' self-titled was the one that was like anybody could have listened to this and enjoy. Like, Are You With That is one of the most
Bro,
one of the best
what?
songs. I've ever
Trippin'
heard.
is
Oh my God. Yeah,
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, so just to wrap it up once again, we've concluded this has been one of the best years
Absolutely.
in music that we've had in a long time, and just for, clarification, everyone's favorite albums, yours was Doechii, Alligator Bites.
Dang, I had said Conglomerate.
So Conglomerate.
We should have talked about the UK. Let me just we can't even get into that right now.
We'll end it off with that, and then
Chromacopia.
and then mine was GNX. I just want to say shout out to the Black British people. Shout out to Jim Legacy. Shout out to 10 Days. Shout out to motherfucking O'Deal. Those Nigerians in Britain are going
Len,
crazy. I don't even know if 10 Days Nigerian. I think he's Senegalese.
YT.
All of them in Britain are going crazy.
Who else? Lancey, but Lancey's been going dumb.
He's going dumb.
Also, Chromacopia and Saheem.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the year-end wrap-up. What I will say is, like, if anyone wants to get some last-minute things off about Drake, now's your opportunity. Or forever hold your peace.
I feel like what the beef was in that whole situation is I completely understand where he came from, but I think it also says a lot about his character. My worry has always been, I think he is like an egotistical person who has a hard time taking losses. So when his loss happened, I feel like that is kind of what we've been witnessing throughout the time.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
So it's hard to look back at it's colored my opinion of looking back at his older stuff, where I see a lot of people who were criticizing him back in the day being like, he's too in his feelings about this. And I'm like, no, that should be good. Like, that's part of artistry. But now I'm seeing who he is in a negative light.
Yeah.
And it makes me really be like, dang, that is
Facts.
kind of corny.
Ego was really hurt very corny.
Like, that is kind of corny.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I'm next. My final words about Drake. Let's see.
You already know he on bullshit, right?
Yeah, we just gonna say fuck Drake. That's all gonna be it. But then shout out to the homies. We got the homie Ace right here. Sufi just left.
Shout out Ace and Sufi.
Shout out Layla. Shout out Leem,
Shout out
Oprah,
Layla.
Sham, all the homies.
Yeah.
I think you just got to shake it off. I
Yeah.
think he's got heat in the tub.
Absolutely.
That he's stashing right now. Bad look, but good music fixes everything. So
I agree with that.
That's a great-
I would
yeah.
love if he dropped something.
regardless of what he drops, though, half the internet's gonna be like, "This is the fucking worst shit I ever."
Yeah,
heard.
Definitely.
Also, I
definitely.
just think everyone's been praying for a My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy moment since it happened. I don't think we're ever going to see that again. I don't know if he's ever going to drop an undeniable album. It's going to be overtime for him if he does come back.
If he stops playing the game,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
the game,
Yeah.
he's capable. He's
Absolutely. And that's my yeah, I
Whatever. I'll say the final thing I'll say about the whole situation is that a lot of this is you can draw an analogy to a fight, and I think my opinion on this has always been based on that. If you agree to the terms of the fight, you can't throw the first punch and then apologize and try to leave. And if you lose a fight, you don't get to try to change the terms of how you win and win another way. You don't get to bring the Totally out and expect me to respect you. That's not going to happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the J.gov year in review. This was been the music section. I appreciate all these lovely people joining me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ace and Sue once again.
Thank you for having
You
us.
know
Shout out
what I'm
Dylan and Faye
Thank you
too.
so much for having us. Let's go.
and we'll be back with the next section coming soon.
Oh, and Tommy.
right, and we back. Welcome to the film and TV section of J.gov's Year in Review. I'm actually accompanied by another esteemed host and friend of mine. We got Emmanuel Jameer to the left.
Howdy, partner.
Say what's up. Give him your elevator pitch. Like, what is you? What are you?
What is me?
What is Emmanuel?
What am I?
What do you do?
What do I do? I'm just repeating the fucking question.
Yeah.
I am a. What am I? I don't even know what camera. Am I looking at you?
Look wherever you want to go, bro.
Well, I am.
Maybe look at that cam. Don't
look at this one right here.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I'm on Jimmy Fallon. I don't know what camera to look at. Nah, but I'm Emmanuel. I do sketch comedy. I talk to myself on my phone, on my camera. Literally on my camera. It's bad. It's bad. It's basically like normalized schizophrenia, but I make niggas laugh, so it works.
That is some real shit. Yeah, I'm definitely also a fellow schizophrenic on the internet. It happens. I'm stealing schizophrenia culture, but I would say you're an actor. You're an actor.
I appreciate that.
A writer.
Actor.
All the tours.
I like
you know
that.
what I'm saying? So
that.
Obviously this has been a good year in movies. I'm not gonna lie. Truthfully speaking, I really did prefer last year's year in movie. Not to like start this on a down note.
Let's see, why you hating? Why you hating on 24, man?
I'll say this: 2024 was definitely a slow start. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was definitely a slow start. It was like
Madam Web.
It was like like the summer. Like we started off strong. It was like Challengers, Dune. Not to spoil anything,
Right.
And then we had like a dry point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we started getting a lot of the slow burners. I think there
That's
was
right.
too many slow burners this year, like with the A24 coming along and a lot of the independent films that ended up having a great run in the Grammy race, which we're about to have right now.
Right.
Not Grammy, Oscar race. Fuck the Oscars. But
You heard it here first.
it's just like everyone did the soft launch shit, and we live in New York City, and it was still hard to see certain movies. At least
No,
for me,
for real.
At least for me, man.
For real.
that was very much a difficult thing, bro.
Nah, yeah.
So that was very hard. But I think we should get it started with the films. Either two ways we can do about this. We can talk about who our winners are now, or we can just talk about films that were our favorites broadly and get into that. You know what I'm saying? I think the best way to go about it from experience is to just, start off with who your favorite was and go from there, or a movie you really just want to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It was up for Letterboxd
my
this
winners,
year.
bro, my winners aren't. I don't want to say like I'm a free thinker and like you can
Right.
obviously see the notes don't read them.
Yeah, this nigga
but
go.
like, but like it's just on some shit. Like I don't think my winners are necessarily what people picked out.
Okay.
So I would say I can go off who my winner is now, and that will be Challengers.
It's Challengers.
Challengers.
I think we're on the same page with that.
This is the reason this is my winner. And this camera on me. Listen, the biggest problem that I had with this year in terms of critics is that every time you read a best year wrap up with the movies this year and everything like that, the honorable mention is always fucking Challengers. And you'll see the craziest, most rave reviews. And I think just within the critical space, we need to stop looking at things that are cinematic and praising them for their entertainment value and the great experience you had, and then just knocking it off any form of acclaim. Just because it's an entertaining movie, just because it had commercial success, but it's not the type of movie that investigates the parts of the mind that you want, doesn't mean you can just throw it to the side, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is a great performance by both Peter Zweig and Josh O'Connor. He's Peter Zweig in the movie.
He got locked in,
Josh
too locked in.
Zendaya as well. They did a great job. And I think this was by far the most cinematic, the most entertaining movie of the year. Soundtrack was amazing.
Absolutely.
And very much a singular experience compared to everything else that was going on this year. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it. That's my pick for the win.
Shit. I agree. It's kind of hard to follow that up. I think, you know what? I got something to say myself. I think we need to stop trying to force out these blockbuster movies. Have y'all seen The Flash? That shit was like,
I have not.
Thank God.
Ace is shaking his head.
That
no as
shit
well,
was
yeah.
awful. It looked awful. And then people were saying, I see people like discourse on Twitter. They'd be like, oh, well, you can't really make niggas care about The Flash. No, you couldn't make niggas care about Iron Man. They still made a good movie. That shit spearheaded the MCU.
That's facts.
You spent $220 million on a movie and it looks like that.
Yeah, I think what this year proved is that you can have a blockbuster success that's cinematic and not have it be Marvel.
It don't even have to be a blockbuster success. I just like
we had a lot of those.
But I'm just saying, I just like smaller movies, more grounded stories. I think I watched a lot of that this year more than anything.
Facts. I think there was it was very much, and I think that's just what happens though when Marvel wasn't taking up space. You know what I'm saying? That they're investing in other things, and obviously we have A24 now, which help.
Of course, and
Neon. Neon as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you though. We did make a mistake.
What do you mean?
We started off with best film. It was supposed to be TV.
Oh,
but it's fine. It's fine.
oh.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Either I'm gonna cut this or we're just gonna.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
We're staying on film though. We're staying on film. So like, yeah. I think truthfully, I think like my biggest thing this year is just like, you see what happens when we don't just put all our coins in the Marvel. Like my runner up for the year is Wicked. That is my number 2.
Okay.
And it's just like, do you see what can happen when we not putting all of our chips into like the Disney, Star Wars, Marvel thing? It's like we're celebrating, we're providing things that come from a legacy brand, a legacy like play. This is something that's actual text, which is a great text. But we translated it and it worked and we put money into it. Yeah. That was great. It worked. It was amazing. And I think it actually had like political commentary that came along with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that was my number 2. What was yours?
I would say so Challengers is number 1 for me. I think number 2 would actually be, this is kind of tough.
What's up?
It's kind of tough. Okay.
It's tough.
You know what it is? I think the recency bias is getting to me. Cause I'm between Wicked and Dune 2. Because here's the thing about blockbuster movies for me, at least.
Yeah, and this sounds like a mainstream ass, like a talking point that we're having.
And who gonna beat my ass?
But like, who gives a fuck? One.
Who gonna do it?
But no, but on the
you gonna do it? Okay, I'm just saying.
But these films are not getting the critical attention. You know what I'm saying? Compared to a lot of the other ones. Like, no disrespect to The Apprentice, but like, what are we talking about? No disrespect to The Apprentice, but like Dune 2 as well was like a tremendous experience. And I feel like a lot of the films that these critics would have praised into their adulthood when they were teenagers or kids.
Oh yeah.
It's like they watch it now and they're just like, oh yeah, it was good. It was great.
I think people write off blockbuster films because they're blockbuster films. But really, in reality, I feel like when they're done well, there's not a problem. Because you can have an Avengers level film. You can have a film like Dune.
Absolutely.
And if it's done well, if it's taken care of, I'm gonna watch it.
But Wicked is a blockbuster film in the vein of old Hollywood with the old musicals and the old. We haven't seen like a blockbuster musical that big in a minute. Like I'm trying to remember.
But
like,
also
Steven
Wicked,
Spielberg with West Side Story.
Yeah.
And then what, Hairspray? I'm sure I'm missing things, but
Grease. But also Wicked is just a huge play to begin with. Like I remember that I have never seen the play of Wicked, but I know Wicked. Yeah. So it's like you kind of you just know all the shit.
Yeah. So Dune 2, what did you love about it?
What I love about it, okay. So I'll start. I'm gonna go back to Dune 1.
Okay.
Because I remember it took me a while to finish Dune 1. Like usually got to be in the mood for 2-hour movies. And I remember like it took me 3 months to finish the first Dune. I didn't hate it. I just wasn't in the mood to sit down and watch it or consume it. And then when I finally finished it, I was like, wow, that might have been the greatest thing I ever seen, right? I'm exaggerating. But it was
in regards to Dune 1. In regards to Dune 1 or Dune 2?
This is Dune 1.
Yeah.
Dune 2 comes out. And I was like, all right, let's see what the hype is about. Yeah. And I thought Dune 1 was a 10 out of 10 until I saw Dune 2. Man. There was a couple times I went in the theater, I've been watching like this. And then it was like, oh.
I talk a lot of shit sometimes when it comes to Denis, just when he gets on his movies shouldn't be about words thing. And he does have a clear point. I've watched so many video essays about this shit. I get what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Cinematography and directing is a great thing, but I just made fun of him at certain points of the year. And then he proved why I should shut the fuck up with this movie. Very much not as dialogue heavy as the last Dune, which is probably why he had that whole thought process in the first place. He was like, oh, this is so much like epilogue.
Dune 1 was a lot more of a setup.
Absolutely. Yeah. But when I watched Dune 2, I didn't see Dune 1. And I just watched a bunch of recaps. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a sin. But I finished the movie. I'm like, bro, this shit good as hell. Yeah. This is like an amazing performance. Timothée Chalamet in that Messiah creation scene. I know he's supposed to represent like false deities and like things of that nature and like praising a person like a political figure to an extent they don't deserve. Mm-hmm. But bro, that scene, he delivered that shit. I thought I was there. I was like, is this the guy? Is this the guy?
That boy
he hit, and I'm always gonna be a hater in regards to white messiahs. I'm always gonna have like some pushback on that. I was fully sold. Right. I was like, oh yeah. No, low key, this might be his shit. This shit might be his. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was very much a great performance in terms of Chalamet. And just as far as that movie, that is my number 3. So have you made a decision yet? Do you know yet?
I think
Wicked-
for number 2.
Wicked 2 or Dune 2 at 3?
Ooh, okay. You know what? I think I'll put Wicked at 2.
Wicked at 2.
I'll put Wicked at 2.
So you just agree with me?
I guess.
This is not fun.
I was trying to think about
It's all
it
good,
because
it's all good.
I was trying to think about it because in terms of like pure enjoyment, like don't get me wrong, Dune 2 was one of those movies I was just like, what the fuck? Like I came out the theater like in shock.
Yeah.
But it didn't hit me as emotionally as Wicked did.
It didn't. I think again, it's like Wicked, I think it resonates to so many audiences and it speaks to so many things in real life. It's like forever going to be a contemporary text with that.
Oh yeah.
But it's just heavy. It's very heavy. I think Dune 2 hit me hard, pause, just in parts. You know what I'm saying? Just in certain portions of it. It's like the whole experience of Wicked, because the music and everything, it maintains a certain momentum that's hard to reflect with just like the typical structure of a film. Yeah. And that's the appeal of it. That can sometimes be to the detriment of a movie though. Yeah. Sometimes if the music isn't that good, then you're going to be like, oh, this shit boring. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I think especially for Wicked, they took good care in making that film because
Absolutely.
they know it's like I said, it's Wicked. You can't fuck up Wicked.
You just gotta give respect.
Fuck up Wicked, they're coming for you.
Give respect to the theater kids. Let them call the shots.
Exactly.
Let them, and all these people that were involved are very much not only engulfed in theater culture, but they just understand what makes the play itself so good. You know what I'm saying?
Now the color grade.
You didn't like it?
Why was it gray? I get that we was going for a realistic vibe, but the shit don't gotta look like Captain America Civil War.
Man, they didn't pick the right S-Log.
Could have had a pop of color, man.
They didn't pick the right S-Log.
They shot it in S-Log and just left it.
Just
So, that's
no
good.
LUT on the shit, huh?
None.
No color correction.
None. That shit pissed me off.
Yeah, I never really played color correction game when it comes to this shit. Like I never say nothing.
A little contrast
just
never hurt
because
nobody.
like yeah.
Little
That's fair.
contrast.
That's fair. I'm not gonna argue that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which was your favorite performance? Did you prefer the Galinda performance or did you prefer Elphaba? Who was your?
This is tough because I am as of 2020, I became an Ariana Grande fan.
That's fairly recent.
Fairly recent.
Okay.
Something in that album is cracking it.
Yeah.
That Positions album, it's R&B.
Love
and that's why they don't
Positions.
like it. But I'm not gonna get into that. This ain't my that ain't my
This is
segment.
not your segment.
But I think, first of all, no. Before I even get into her, let me give praise to Cynthia because every time she was on screen,
Cynthia,
I felt like I wanted to cry. Like it was just
Cynthia,
like
so talented. There's a brightness.
She
in
looks
her
at
voice.
you through the screen and she's looking into your soul.
Absolutely.
Like I was like locked in every time. The vocals, insane. I mean, I was already hip, but it was like in this movie particularly, like
Bro,
she killed it.
The range was crazy, bro. Defying Gravity was crazy.
Exactly.
It was just like, what's the song that goes? Oh, are you so? You think you're so clever?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the sound. I got the soundtrack on my phone, but I don't know.
The theater kid's gonna choke me. But
Listen.
no, regardless, I just think like, what all of these movies for the most part that we picked, except for the exception of Challengers, it's just like these are pretty much historical texts within American culture. You know what I'm saying? Obviously Dune's more new, but like they all had like a newer take compared to other film adaptations that were just great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I just think Denis Villeneuve, he is a nerd when it comes to Dune franchise. You know, he's very much engulfed within it. This wasn't like a for hire thing. He was down to just capture the entire essence of that universe. You know, same thing with Wicked, the people involved, they cared about it. And I think that when you actually care about the movie and you're not just focused on like the funding of it and like how much we can make, then that just shows all the more clear.
And you can tell even in the PR, like they were having a blast making this film. Like,
the press run made a lot of.
But honestly, that's just how theater kids are. Like people are like, why are they crying? No, theater kids are fucking dramatic. I work stage crew. They're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I have,
but in the best way possible.
All of the theater kid experience I have in my life has been with adults. Like I've never. We didn't have no theater program.
I'm telling you, that is.
Shout out to the Florida Department of Education. Niggas ain't had that.
I'm telling you, that shit is typical. But
absolutely.
Nah, yeah. I felt like, I mean, Wicked, literally it was, because like a lot of people were, some of the discourse was like, oh, it's woke. It's like, no, it's been woke. They didn't change anything about the film.
The only thing they really changed about the film is like the animals brought more life to it compared to the theater show. Like this is the funniest thing, right? I feel like at my life when people ask me, do I rock with theater? Do I rock with plays and stuff like that? I'm always like, and then I'll like experience Wicked in a way. When I was a kid, people were like, oh, do you like theater? I'm like, nah. Then I watched Wicked.
Right.
this wasn't really my homeboy. I don't want to do him like that, but this was a dude I knew that I was cool with.
Right.
Am I gonna drop his name? Fernando.
Wow.
Fernando, when I was in middle school. Hey, this nigga cried during the Wicked outro at the play at the Strat Center in Tampa, Florida.
How can you not?
When I tell you the niggas flames him, they're like, Fernando, why the fuck is you crying?
That shit is beautiful.
Shout out to Fernando. It was beautiful. No. But like, again, like, I just feel like every time I'm like iffy on, you know, certain aspects of like entertainment coinciding with theater and just bringing it into film, I just get pulled back in. And just Wicked is just an amazing text, and it explores so much. And like the animals, it brought more life with them. But also like just the casting of a black woman for Elphaba made all the more difference, at least for me.
It made sense.
Yeah.
The story was the same, but it was like seeing a black woman on the screen. There were so many moments, and I was at the theater by myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was just sitting there like, you ever seen that meme of like Robert De Niro just watching a movie by himself?
Just you by yourself in a bandana.
IMAX screening.
Families.
Whole family around me. I'm in the middle of the fucking theater just, you know, mesmerized. But I was like, man, I just couldn't stop thinking about my mom, my sister, like just the black experience, the black woman experience. I was just like, man, like
that's the power of casting.
That shit hit.
Yeah.
Especially at the end, like, and with Defying Gravity. Because usually, like, she just sings through it, and then it's like, boom.
Yeah.
But they took like a break to really like let you sit in it. And I was just like, oh, this is fucking me up in the best way possible.
My favorite thing about the Wicked experience is that when you go back and actually read the songs as dialogue, the film opens up. You know what I'm saying? Like everything makes more sense. They're explaining the themes to you in the damn songs. Literally, you just don't know because they flow in like Usher on Confessions, but. They telling you how this shit go.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
They're telling you how this shit go. Like they're letting you know. And you know, for the untrained ear, that makes the movie more enjoyable because you witness those layers. I'm sure for the people that have watched Wicked 1,000 times are familiar with, you know what I'm saying, the different performances. Shout out to Tay Diggs. He was he did a performance of Wicked one time. So it's like people, they know the text, but like that helps people like me who are relatively not as familiar, you know? So
what he's saying is the shit is scripture. The shit is spiritual. You ain't feel that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting into my nerd shit, but yeah, this was a great year for film, I would say, once again. And I think just what I found, honestly, I don't want to say more rewarding, but like it was also a good experience this year. I just think the opposite way where film heated up, I think like TV cooled down, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we should get into the TV section of this whole episode, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
With that being said, like I think the word to describe the year of TV is just like cooled down, you know?
Yeah.
At least for me, you know? Yeah. What was your opinion of the landscape for this year?
I would honestly say quality over quantity.
That's fair.
I didn't feel too overwhelmed with TV.
Which is ironic for TV.
Yeah. I just felt like I was able to like just watch it and be caught up with it.
Absolutely.
I was able to kind of not feel swamped or drained watching anything. Like if there was a show, I have a couple shows I like to watch, but you know, I just felt like everything put out was spaced out well enough for me to like, all right, I can watch this and then watch this and like watch an old show and still be caught up on some new shit. So
that being said, what's your win then? Who's your number one?
Win?
Or do you want to ease into it?
I don't know.
You want to do the foreplay?
Crazy. This your host. Ace
is not
host.
Fucking with it. I'm sorry.
That was insane.
That's enough for the foreplay this episode.
Matter of fact, I'm done here. Shit.
There's a lot of shows that came out. You know what I'm saying? There's we had historical dramas. We had
Shogun.
That's my winner for the year.
You
Shogun
know what? I don't disagree.
An amazing TV show this year. I think. Again, I'm all for limited TV series. Are they rumoring of a season 2? I don't know.
No, I think they confirmed it.
Oh my God, why? It's so unnecessary. And I'm sure people have talked this.
But I think they're going to take care of it. I trust them. It's an FX show
too. The book doesn't even go that far. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you want to go Game of Thrones with this shit, go Game of Thrones with this shit. We saw how that ended. I'm just saying, the text at a certain point, Game of Thrones was over with. And then they're like, let's keep it going for the money, you know?
Yeah.
And it worked out until it didn't. You know, that's all I'm saying. But either way, I think the thing with Shogun that I liked so much is that it brought me into like a world of feudal Japan that wasn't
Very unfamiliar.
I've never investigated it. Like it was just an aesthetic thing within American culture, you know?
Definitely.
I didn't know that they was ready to off themselves at every second.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
See, I was aware. I was aware of that, but I didn't know how serious they was about it. Like,
dog, they would mispronounce
I
your
step on
name.
your shoe. I'd just be sitting there like, yo, like,
I'm good. Like I don't want to kill you right now. And this is like, that was the unfortunate brilliance of like the placement character. What's his man? I'm forgetting the character's name. That's crazy. Y'all know the Englishman. He had a
pirate ass name. He had like a random name generator ass name.
He told like
John
this.
Blackthorne was his fucking name.
You know
that's why I remember.
John Blackthorne. Yeah.
Why do you sound like that?
Shout out to Mariko, man. Mariko, we're gonna get into that later, man.
Yes, nigga.
Just a beautiful performance from a beautiful person. You know, she has great vibes, great vibrations. You know, I just feel it through the screen. But yeah, how'd you feel about Shogun, man?
It was a beautiful show. Beautiful show. Honestly, I was hyped for Shogun like months before it even came out.
Really? So you knew about this coming on this landscape? You knew about?
Oh yeah, I didn't know how crazy it would be. I think like one of my friends had like an internship at some company and kept talking about like they want
connected.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey man,
continue.
Anybody want to hire me?
Yeah, whatever, nigga.
But yeah, they kept posting about like I'm so excited for the show. I'm so excited for the show. I'm like, what is this show? You know? So I was like, you know what? When that shit drops, let me check it out.
Yeah.
Because I know FX, they don't really disappoint when it comes to TV shows.
Very much a reliable source of TV.
So I was like, let me see what this shit is about. And first episode, I was like, oh.
Man. It was like the episode where the hurricane happened, you know what I'm saying? That was crazy. I think just like the way everything went down. The second to last episode, I feel like in shows like that typically are the most tragic.
Yeah.
And that happened with this episode, but it was just so many things that displayed the dynamic between Western world thinking versus like other cultures and how those conflicts can translate over time. But in that specific story, like the hanging chicken, you know what I'm saying? When they killed him because he got rid of it, but like that's what he asked for.
Right.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Very much that film, that show is just probably one of my favorite TV shows that happened this decade so far. And I just hope they don't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they will.
You don't think they will?
I don't think they will.
I trust the writers for sure.
I trust, the writers. I trust the actors. Like, they're so in it. They really took care of it. Even the actors themselves, they said it was such a challenge, but it was like...
Favorite performance from that show would be who?
Okay, this is terrible because I don't remember anybody's name.
John Blackthorne. You got... I have in my notes Hiroyuki Sanada. Hiroyuki Sanada. I think that's his actual name.
Right.
And I think his character name's like Yoshi Toranaga. That's his name.
Yeah. He was my favorite. Because he has a way of he's just cold.
Yeah.
He just cold. Had a way of outsmarting everybody.
Yeah.
Always fitted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He just, every time they think they got him, he step out, do some trickery, come out with a new fit, start fucking shit up. He playing mind games. That's why I like him.
Absolutely. What I loved about TV this year is that it focused so much on dialogue, and it was always like all the great shows had amazing writing, like amazing dialogue because they have the time to flesh that out.
Right.
So like the dynamic.
Shout out to writers.
Real shit. Shout out to the writers.
Pay writers. You know, you get good shit when you pay the people that write your shit, man.
Y'all see the Che Guevara hat? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
But like the dynamic between Mariko translating for John and what she says to like Yoshi is just like, that was such a great dynamic I never got sick of, you know? Just brought a layer of just like how you translate Western thinking to like a non-colonized or pre-colonialization on a grand scale Japan, and just like how those two things interact and how that influences their relationship. That's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that, Toranaga is a whole sociopath, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. He's a whole...
Absolutely.
And I had a feeling that I had a bad vibe. Like I knew he was going to be selfish. Like, of course he's going to be...
He's an empath. He's an empath.
But of course he was going to turn at some point. I just couldn't foresee it being like that, you know?
Yeah.
It was great. I just don't know how you're going to go season 2 after you have John Blackthorne the way it ended. Like,
I don't know.
We'll figure it out, man. So that's obviously my number one. Do you have another number one? Are you going to agree with me? Is this the agree show? It's cool. No worries. No, it's cool. I think everyone would say Shogun. That's the thing. Shogun wiped like the Golden Globes. Everyone. It was so hands down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, first to come out of the ones I've seen, and then it was just quality, bruh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
There's no.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that.
Who's your number 2?
Okay, this is hard. No, it's not. It's Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
God damn it, it's my number 2 too. God damn it.
It's not hard. Not hard at all.
Damn it. Go ahead. We were both watching.
We were both watching at the same time.
I think. Look, Donald Glover just like he did it again. Shout out to Hero as well. You know what I'm saying? Hero Murai. But I think obviously everyone said the same line. It's a meditation on relationships and marriage, but that truly is what it is. And the way they were able to explore that with a couple that was forced to be married and like go through like this job, it was just like the perfect analogy. And I feel like they just brought a certain level to the text that Mr. and Mrs. Smith originally didn't have.
Right.
And it was so clever from the therapist and the way they used her, you know what I'm saying? And to like the discovery of the other Smiths, how they set them up and everything like that, how couples interact with other couples.
Yeah.
It was so fun and it was so good when they had to take care of the dude like he was a kid.
Yeah.
Just the layers of it was very much enjoyable. And as someone who's never been married and hasn't been in a relationship longer than a year, I'm like, oh, type of shit. Like, yeah, that happens at some point, I'd imagine. And they did a great job at exploring it, you know?
He said, I'd imagine. Nah, yeah. I feel like I talk about discourse a lot, but that's just me. I'm chronically online. It's bad.
Bag,
screen time is abysmal. But listen.
Oh, you didn't like the backlash that he got.
You said, oh yeah, I hated it because it's like, one, anything that Donald Glover and Hero Murai touches turns to gold immediately. He's gonna take care of it. And then also it's like, listen, I get that we're tired of remakes, but when a remake is well done, you got to give it a shot. Like, people are like, is it a movie? Is it this? Now we got to remake it. Y'all act like the original Mr. and Mrs. Smith was that good. No, it was just, they were just hot.
It was just entertaining.
They were just hot.
It was very entertaining. I like it.
It was a lot of tension. And that's what was in 2005. So it's not 2005
but are we gonna act like that final episode where they had like they try to kill each other? You know what I'm saying? In the same way with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the actual movie, like that was in peak. Like
I'm not saying
they were onto something with that movie. That's all I'm saying.
Look. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the original movie. The original movie is a remake.
Yeah, TV show.
The 2005 movie is a remake of a TV show, which is a remake of another TV show.
But I don't know if they ever try to actually kill each other in the TV show, though.
I never watched it.
Me neither.
Never watched it. Not going to watch it.
That's how I go. You know what I'm saying? But I think Mr. and Mrs. Smith just overall very fun, but like just grounded. A really smart show. And honestly, if you haven't given it a chance because of the surface level, because of who the people are involved, then you're losing out on a lot of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's grounded. It's emotional. It's
my favorite episode was the one with the mom when like they finally met, like the wife and the mom, and they were trying to kill each other. That was amazing. Yeah. That was great.
I think a big thing for me is like I pay attention to cinematography a lot, and it's just like I think the reason why it was so easy for me to ease into this is because it felt familiar visually speaking. I mean,
with Donald Glover's language, what you mean?
Oh yeah, well that was all Hero Murai.
I was. But
like,
they work together.
Placement, all that stuff. It's like I'm like, this is like Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I know it's not. But it's like just the visual style of it. It's
the
like
color palette's different, but yeah.
Like I know who made this.
This is like a show where if you're like the typical dude and you like action, but your girl likes like the drama and the rom-com.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Bro,
balance.
This is the perfect balance for that. And I feel like they made it with that in mind. That's what makes it so smart. It's like they're feeding the audiences that would typically watch it, but would also typically watch the Donald Glover show. And it was great to see him explore that part. You know, I just feel like we need more creatives that is like, fuck you, suck my dick, I'm gonna make it anyway.
Right.
Which is like, oh, everyone's hating on me. They're saying I'm too ugly to be Mr. Smith. Suck my dick, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Right.
Or like, oh, everyone wants this to be an action heavy thing. Suck my dick. We're gonna have talking. You're gonna hear me talk. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with that for sure. My number 3 is gonna be The Bear. Unfortunately, I was hoping for it to be my number 1 when this year first started. That was my most anticipated show. I watched it from season 1 with my homeboy Deshaun. This show, when we first discovered it, it was like we watched it on an off night and then binged the whole shit, and we're like, yo, this is like insane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to my guy Cousin, seeing his development. I just really wish that the season was more focused. I think that's what happens with season 3s and shows a lot more though. Is like the direction of it is going to be a little bit kerfuzzled just
Nigga just made up
the
a new word.
vocab
You don't
crazy.
know what that means.
Don't hate, but it's just like
I'm not hating. I'm confused.
Season 1 was more playful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it got this critical acclaim as a comedy series. You
That's
know,
'cause it just threw you into it.
Exactly. Even though, like, you know, really there was only maybe 2 episodes that were meant to be quote unquote funny.
Yeah.
Season 2 takes this critical acclaim and is like, okay, we're gonna up it and we're gonna take ourselves seriously. And we have amazing. To this day, I think one of the greatest episodes of TV, of television, is the 7 Fishes.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or is it 8 fishes? One of the fishes.
7 fishes.
7 fishes.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And like, as someone who comes from like a family with bad communication, just like no diss to my direct family, just the whole bloodline. We're bad at talk. We're Mexican, but I'm like, yo, I feel this. You know what I'm saying? This is for all my niggas that grew up in loud houses. That's just how it is, bro. So that hit. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to miscommunication.
Shout out to miscommunication. Shout out to pride. Shout out to
arrogance.
Shout out to talking over someone.
Yeah.
And then being like, let me finish.
Absolutely.
Oh my God,
You all right?
that's amazing.
You gonna be okay?
That's like the level of ignorance I love.
Right.
Like cutting a nigga off and then being like, yo, let me finish.
Right.
And then it's amazing. So yeah.
So he needs therapy.
Yeah. How'd you feel
We
about
all
The Bear?
do.
Did you watch it?
I did. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of. I was more in my movie bag this year. I'm not gonna lie. Season 2 it didn't hit as. It was still good, but it didn't hit as hard as season 1. So I kind of watched it, and then I was like, all right, what else is out there?
Yeah. The Iowa Debris directed episode was great. That was the one with Tina. That was great. I like.
Oh yeah, napkins.
Napkins.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. Again, the one-off episodes that they had were all great.
Yeah. Those are my favorites. Those are my standouts. Standouts for sure.
So that's your 3.
Were there more?
Were there more TV? There was a lot of TV.
There was more
man.
TV. There was more TV.
There's a lot of TV.
I'm trying to think.
I never saw Severance. I think that's what's coming out. That's this year though, right?
Yeah, season 2 just came out. Severance is
it
actually,
shrinking?
Shrinking is another.
That was this year.
Apple TV, if y'all don't know, has really good shows. Like really good shows.
Sponsor me.
Like, which I remember I started this show called The Morning Show, which is basically like following like basically a chaotic news network.
Yeah.
Corporate politics, but it's somehow got me hooked.
On a daily show.
I watched a show called C, which is like.
Is this year or just in general with Apple?
I think they released a new season this year for the morning show, but then I watched C in 2023. Never mind.
So wait,
I'm sorry, I'm a little hazy here.
So do you not have a number 3 for TV?
I don't think I have.
It's fine.
I don't think I have.
Niggas gonna flame you, but
hey man,
on some Donald Glover shit, fuck you. 1 and 2, that's
fuck
it.
Fuck y'all. I love y'all, but fuck y'all.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Is this something else I watched this year?
There was a lot of big TV. I would say my honorable mention is going to be Love Island, just on some extra credit shit. That was the biggest culture movement I've been a part of since Euphoria Sundays. That was insane. That TV show was everywhere. Sundays. That had the most ratings. That it was historical. And all of these reality TV show people are A-listers. We haven't had that happen since Jersey Shore.
Not for real.
Like that big, that much of an impact on the culture, and it was amazing. I'm not gonna give too much an opinion. Serena and Cordell, I love them. You know them, they gonna go far. I see nothing but success for them. Shout out to them, man.
Cordell had to tighten up.
He had to, or he got to?
No, he had to.
Oh yeah.
He was fucking up at first. I was not rooting for that man at all.
Damn, for real? I fuck with Cordell. Cordell was cool. Did you fuck with Cordell?
Yeah, nigga, bro. That sounded too passionate.
Yeah.
Cordell, cool. Yeah, I was rooting for him from the
I'm
jump.
saying he had to tighten up.
Thick and thin, though. I was like, he gotta go back. You know what I'm saying? I understood.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about Leah?
Leah was annoying, but she bad at the end of the day. So it was like, you know.
This was all of America's response. And I didn't want to say nothing, right? Because as a black man, what I think about Love Island is gonna get me killed. I'm a nigga. And I'm a dude. They don't want to know what I got to say about Leah. I was watching that shit, and I watched it with no internet, right? I was not watching Twitter or anything. Like I was on my James Harden Young Thug shit. And
you don't got no internet.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dog, I fucking hate this girl. Like, why? And I hated old boy, white boy too. Crying because Shorty mad about how you treat her in front of the shorties, and you're crying about that. You're like, how'd you ask? You didn't ask how I felt. If he looked like me, if he was a light-skinned black man with 3C curls, he's getting the all right, we're calm. We're good. So you want to get it? You want to? I'm good. So best actress or best actor? What do you want to start with first?
Shit, I was gonna say I missed all of the Love Island hype. I was over here watching Drive to Survive on Netflix, getting on my F1 shit.
You were in your F1 bag.
I was.
Yeah.
Still am. That shit got me into it.
I've been waiting for that Damson Idris Brad Pitt movie for like years.
I
Can y'all
hope
release
it's
that
not
shit?
bad.
I think
I
they're
hope
still
it's not
recording
bad.
it. I think they're still
They
filming.
are.
I'm
They
just-
are.
I'm
And they be
joking,
recording. And they be recording that
They've
shit
been-
at the races too.
They've been filming that shit as long as like I knew about challenges was gonna come out. Like it's
Imagine
been
you a real F1 driver. You just spent the last hour and a half racing this fucking
Brad
rocket
Pitt. Oh,
of a car. You come out, you tired, you hot, you just irritated. You probably fucking lost. You see Brad Pitt over there just waving like he won some shit with a fake ass car.
What's up, man?
That shit would make me hot. I'd be mad at. Nah. I'm gonna watch it though.
Okay,
I'm gonna watch it.
for sure.
Absolutely.
So I think like TV, film, I didn't make best actor, best actress in these categories because I kind of wanted to have a mixing of it. Because like while I understand the importance of separating it is huge, I also just think it's fun to look at performances singularly. Just like, okay, yeah, TV, film together. I get TV has the privilege of building on a character, but still, who made the most impact in that year? And so that's kind of what I wanted to do with this year in review with the best actress and the best actor. So this is co-ed, not in terms of gender, but in terms of the actual genres. So best actor in TV and film. We're going to start with dudes first so women can round it out. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So do you have an ultimate winner for this year? Who was the best performer? Because I can give you mine.
It's Timmy.
Timothy fucking Chalamet.
It's Timmy.
And you know the dick riding has been on another level. You know that man's press run is it's almost at peak Jonathan Majors, like this is the greatest human ever level. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all remember that? We might cut this. No, the Jonathan Majors.
If we're gonna cut this, I have some things to say.
We're not cutting it. So Jonathan.
All right.
Oh my God. Everyone loves Timmy. Everyone loves Timothy.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing great on Saturday Night Live. He's funny. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he can do skits and he can have fun with Nardwuar. He can
He's
chat.
always been that good.
He's
always been that good.
Let's get into the actual work. And it's like we have the Bob Dylan film, which I'm blanking on the title right now.
Complete Unknown.
Complete Unknown, that's what it's called, yeah. And then we have Dune 2.
Yep.
Dune 2 is one of the greatest performances that I've seen in terms of just sci-fi.
Absolutely.
Like, that was amazing. That monologue was amazing. I never saw many Timothée Chalamet films.
Right.
This was like probably like the third one I'm saying. And I was like, oh, damn, he can go there with it.
No, he's an artist on the screen.
He's an artist on the screen. The direction, Denis Villeneuve, he went crazy on this. If I was going to add a category to be director, and Denis Villeneuve would probably win. That fight, that final duel, when he brought the knife out and then Timothy got in his stance, bro, it's all iconography, and iconography I wouldn't think I'd see to that level since the 80s. And that was great. He did an amazing job.
Absolutely. I got no notes for that. He killed it.
Oh man, I just be yapping, y'all. I'm sorry. I just be out. I be going yap.
He just had the points. I'm here to ad lib.
Well, this time I agreed with you, so that's the good thing. You know what I'm saying? I would say my number 2 would probably be Hiroyuki Sanada. I hope I pronounced that right. I always go Latino with the Japanese names. I know that's not how you say it. Hiroyuki Sanada. You know what I'm saying? I just think people give a lot of credit to like the muted characters that are supposed to be commanders, but sometimes they'll say it's a cop out just because you can not be too revealing emotionally, and that's a part of it. But I honestly think with this performance, what he was able to do to bring a presence to the whole TV show was very much unique. I cannot separate him with another character. If they try to replace him, it wouldn't work. Like this is just a guy where he played a character so well, he's now that character to me. And very much well done. Hiroyuki Sanada is probably my runner-up, followed up by Coleman Domingo. I watched The Madness with my family. That was a great watch. But like again, like Coleman Domingo has this like vibe to him where he's like likable, but he also comes off as extremely like intelligent, you know, because he is. So like when you play like a political analyst that like gets ousted by the society and stuff like that, and then having to play with that while also being like a black man and like your frustration, there was like a range to it that he had an amazing job reflecting. And also he did sing. I didn't see it, so I can't credit him for that.
I need to see
it.
But
what he did in The Madness was something that I loved a lot. And he's just probably one of my favorite actors working today.
Real.
Yeah, man.
Real.
And you? Favorite actor? You have a third or no?
I think I have a third.
We have a lot of movies, man. We have.
I have a list that there's so many we didn't touch on.
Go ahead, bro.
I got a list.
Go ahead.
Off the top of my list, I'm not gonna say the top of my head. I wrote it down. I'm not gonna lie. You can see me. So we talk about Dune 2. We talk about Wicked. We talk about Challengers. We didn't talk about Nora.
Nora, that was something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Huh.
I wish they didn't release Challengers that early, even though it was supposed to come out the year prior because of the strike. But I like it a lot more than Nora. And I feel like it has a lot more to say than Nora.
I mean, okay.
Is that hate?
I don't think it's hate. For me, I didn't see much of a comparison. I probably watched all those movies.
No. I think the only comparison that one could make is that they're both, I don't want to say Nora's an erotic thriller, but it's a thriller and it's based on romance and, attraction. Yeah. And I would say the same thing with Challengers. It's an erotic thriller though, full on. I remember seeing the trailer. And I was like, let me check this out. This seems kind of lighthearted. It was not. No.
It was not. It was raw. I don't know. I'm very...
That's my number 4 though.
I'm not very great at describing what I like about movies. It's just kind of like I just kind of feel it. You should see my Letterboxd reviews. They're probably like one sentence.
We're going to put it on the screen right now.
You know I probably said like, what the fuck?
You be on your quirky shit. You be getting your... Quirked up on the Letterboxd.
Quirked up on the Letterboxd is crazy. Someone put that on a shirt. But nah, I remember just watching it and it's like, the first act, it kind of like, you kind of get lost in the romantic story of it and then it just completely goes left and now you're just kind of like,
did you find that romantic?
I found it romantic in the context of the story. My brain turns off when I watch movies sometimes. I'm kind of I'm just in it.
You're going into, that's good.
Yeah,
the emotions, you follow the ride, yeah.
And so that's why I was completely like, where the fuck is this movie going
Absolutely.
at this point?
It's very much a lot of parts.
When Homeboy ran off, I'm like, where?
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. When they tied her up, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the rest of the movie. I was like,
you thought so?
I already know. I see where this is going. No disrespect to the movie. I just think like, I can tell a lot of times where that sounds very... I'm not trying to start it off that fucking condescending. What I'm trying to say is that like you can tell where the entertainment is going to come from. I feel like at a certain point.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, this person is a star, Nora, her fiery energy. This is going to carry the whole film, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
However, the bald guy, Yusuf, that's his name, right? I'm pretty sure he played Yusuf. Or his name is Yusuf.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, but. I think he's nominated for Best Supporting Actor. That was a decent performance from him. He had a good presence, for sure. A good presence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to win it, though.
No.
Not at all.
No. Unfortunate for that. It's fine.
Yeah, that movie was just a ride. That's the best way I could describe it. It was a ride. It was, I don't know, man. I'm bad. I'm bad at this. I can yap about anything else.
There's no way.
I can yap about anything else. But like when you ask me to like really analyze a movie, this is why I should have stayed in college. Probably should have majored in film. Probably could have learned how to like conceptualize my ideas a little bit. Articulate is the word I was looking for. See, bad at this.
See, but it's like again, I'm already providing the annoying film nerd criticism that's happening right now.
Right.
If it would be me and you, it'd be just like annoying. Like the women would be tuned out. You know what I'm saying? I'm already comparing Challengers to Nora, which is probably bad. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be worse. It'd be worse. So it's a good thing that you're not full on. You know what I'm saying?
No.
We can yap about Best Actress though, which honestly I think was a very strong category this year. You know what I'm saying? From Nora, which was a great performance on her part. And I'm blanking on the actress's name. Oh my gosh, I hate this right now.
What was she in?
She was in Nora. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Mikey Madison.
Mikey Madison, she was so great. She was so great. I think that's a performance that needs to be of note just because there's something to be said about carrying an entire movie. No disrespect to the ensemble cast that was supposed to be the people kidnapping her, but she was the energy. She drove the plot.
Absolutely.
It was a great job by her for sure. And like when she finally met up with the parents and how she let them have it.
Oh yeah.
Brother, what are we talking about?
I have some, one thing I have to say is I'm not really big on actors doing accents. They throw me off every fucking time. Like but I will say in the first 5 seconds, I was like, ugh. And then I was like, oh wait, nah, she kind of killing that shit.
She was in her bag.
She was in her bag.
In the beginning, it does sound like New Jersey. Like it sounds like a
No, for real.
It sounds like someone doing I get it.
Who's driving this bus?
Yeah.
Shout out to Zaco Bell. That's how she sounded. And at first I was like, all right, we get it. You from New York. But then it worked. I gave it a chance.
It worked.
It worked.
It worked. That was definitely a performance of note. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she just every time she was on the screen, like she did not. I thought she was gonna beat my ass.
Yeah.
Like
another person who had it. Oh, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was. Oh wait.
Iowa Debris had a great year as well.
Did.
I think as far as the Bear performances, she was my favorite performance of the Bear. I also just love the character of Marcus. So like Lionel, but like I think her and Tina, just a great job overall. I think Iowa Debris had another great year.
Absolutely,
for sure. Do you have a winner? Because mine's Zendaya, without a doubt. Without a doubt, Zendaya Challengers. That was amazing. Seeing her place. Because I guess she is near that age technically. Like she plays like a 36-year-old, 35-year-old. Zendaya's like about 30 right now. Not to be that guy.
But even when she turns 36, she's gonna look like how
she played away. She aged up though, is what I'm saying, compared to her other films. You know, she was typically playing the 25, 26 range from what I'd imagine. So like, this was a great job by her. I think there's this aspect to her where she has this old school like charisma, but like a humbled charm to it.
Oh yeah,
which was perfect to play an aspiring, tennis phenom. And it's also perfect to play just someone that is like supposed to be the wife of a messiah, but that's denying of that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So it's like she has a way of wielding her emotions and just like her performance in a way where it makes sense to like her, but it's like this is a star and she is this character.
Even the subtle things. Like I feel like what a lot of
down to the lotion. Like remember she chose like what lotion the person wears. She had the bob, she had the sunglasses. Like I think just to round out with the actress role, I think Zendaya she very much leans into the character creation part of it, and she very much, you can tell that's like her passion in regards to it.
I feel like a lot of people play in Zendaya's face like she can't act.
This is my problem. I feel like when someone's too charismatic and wins too much in Hollywood, and maybe this has been an age-old thing, but it's just like people immediately start criticizing their acting chops when that's the last thing you could criticize. Like if you want to talk about someone's screen presence, if you want to talk about like someone like just not delivering the lines like you'd want, go ahead in your nitpick bag.
Right.
But like talking about Zendaya like she can't act,
she's talented.
She is amazing. She is a star. She is a star.
Even is something as subtle as, well, it's not really subtle because I mean the camera is on you, but her facial expressions. Like I keep thinking about that scene where, I think it's like her. I forget Joshua Connor's character's name, but it's like when that look that she gave, and you know the look I'm talking about, the one she was just like, just looking at him with just absolute disgust. I'm like, you can't. That's talent. That's talent. She said so much without saying a single fucking word.
Yeah, that was just like, that's just range, bro.
Range.
That's just range, bro.
Range.
I don't even know what else to say to that. You got any final words? Who you think you fuck with right now besides Zendaya? We talked about Mikey
Madison. Shit. I think they honestly are 1 and 2. They both competed for 1.
You also really liked. Oh, Emma Stone was in that.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. You also really enjoyed. I remember you told me the one with Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, A Real Pain.
A Real Pain. Yeah.
I think. What's his name? Kieran Culkin. I think he is a shoo-in for the best supporting actor.
Really?
In that movie, he really killed it.
It relied on him from what I heard.
He really killed it in that movie.
That's good.
Dazzled on that screen.
He was the wild card.
Yeah.
No,
I don't even think he was acting.
I don't think he was either.
I think he just like
he gives that. He doesn't appear like he's acting though, which is a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
But like, it was raw.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, in this case, we're going to wrap it up for the film and TV section. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys for joining us. Overall, I would say once again, it was a peaks and valleys, you know what I'm saying, when it came to this year, but I would say a great one overall. And we going to come back for part 2, which is going to be fashion and pop culture. So stay tuned with J.gov's Year in Review, and we'll be back.